Ever wondered why some people always get their way? The answer lies in the fascinating world of persuasion. I'm Robert Cialdini, and for decades, I've been exploring the psychological mechanisms that drive our behavior, particularly in how we respond to influence. In this video, we'll unlock the secrets of persuasion by delving into 4 powerful principles that underpin my research. These insights into the human psyche, when understood and applied ethically, can empower you to become a more persuasive and influential communicator. Get ready to discover the subtle art of getting people to say yes, not through coercion, but by understanding and leveraging the very principles that shape their decisions. Let's start with a fundamental human truth. We are hardwired to return favors. This principle, known as reciprocity, is deeply ingrained in our social fabric. Think about it. Have you ever felt obligated to buy something after receiving a free sample, or felt compelled to help someone who had previously done you a favor? That's reciprocity in action. The beauty of reciprocity lies in its simplicity. By offering something first, a small gift, a helpful gesture, valuable information, you trigger an inherent sense of indebtedness in the other person. This feeling, often subconscious, creates a powerful urge to reciprocate in kind. Think of it like social currency. Every act of genuine generosity is an investment in building a reservoir of goodwill. And when the time comes for you to make a request, those past favors serve as a persuasive force, making the other person more likely to meet you halfway. But here's the key. Reciprocity is most effective when it's genuine and heartfelt. People can spot a calculated ploy from a mile away. Don't offer favors solely with the expectation of getting something in return. Instead, approach every interaction with a spirit of generosity, genuinely wanting to add value to the other person's life. Remember, the smallest gestures can have the biggest impact. A handwritten thank you note, a thoughtful compliment, or an offer to help with a task can go a long way in building that reservoir of goodwill. Let me share a personal anecdote to illustrate the power of reciprocity. Years ago, while conducting research for my book, I was struck by the effectiveness of a simple technique employed by the Hare Krishna Society. They would offer passersby a flower or a small booklet as a gift, with no strings attached. While many people refused, a surprising number felt compelled to make a donation in return. Why? Because receiving an unexpected gift, even a small one, triggered a sense of obligation to reciprocate. Let's face it, we crave what we can't have. This inherent desire for the rare and exclusive is at the heart of the scarcity principle. When we perceive something as limited in availability, whether it's a product, an opportunity, or even information, its desirability skyrockets. Think about the frenzy surrounding limited edition products, the urgency of a limited time offer, or the allure of exclusive access to information or experiences. Scarcity taps into our primal instincts, triggering a fear of missing out, FOMO, that drives us to act quickly. Why does scarcity work so effectively? For one, it creates a sense of urgency. We're wired to prioritize immediate threats and opportunities, and scarcity plays directly into this instinct. When we believe something might disappear, we're more likely to take action to secure it before it's gone. Moreover, scarcity often serves as a heuristic for quality. We tend to equate rarity with value, assuming that if something is hard to come by, it must be desirable. Think about it. Would a diamond be as coveted if it were as common as quartz? But here's the crucial point. Scarcity alone isn't enough. The perceived value of the scarce item or opportunity must be genuinely high. If people don't believe the product or offer is worthwhile, scarcity tactics will backfire. So how can you ethically harness the power of scarcity? One way is to highlight the unique benefits or limited availability of what you're offering. For instance, instead of simply listing features, emphasize the exclusive advantages your product provides or the limited number of units available. Another effective technique is to leverage the power of deadlines. Setting a clear time frame for an opportunity creates a sense of urgency, prompting people to act before it's too late. This could be a limited time discount, a deadline for registration, or a limited window to access exclusive content. Remember, the key to ethical persuasion is transparency and honesty. Don't fabricate scarcity or mislead people about availability. Instead, focus on highlighting the genuine value and limited nature of what you're offering. Think about the way successful businesses use scarcity to drive sales. From a young age, we're taught to respect authority figures, parents, teachers, doctors, and experts in their fields. This ingrained deference to authority is deeply rooted in our social conditioning and serves an essential purpose. It allows for order and efficiency in complex societies. However, this deeply ingrained respect for authority can also be a powerful tool of persuasion. The authority principle states that we are more likely to comply with requests or follow the lead of those we perceive as credible, knowledgeable, or influential. This tendency stems from our belief that those in positions of authority possess the experience, expertise, or power to guide us toward the right decisions. Think about the trust you place in a doctor's diagnosis, the weight you give to a judge's ruling, or the influence of a respected thought leader's opinion. In each case, it's the perceived authority of the individual that lends credibility to their words and sways our judgment. Now, it's important to distinguish between legitimate authority and mere posturing. True authority is earned through genuine expertise, experience, and integrity, not through intimidation or arrogance. When attempting to leverage the authority principle ethically, it's crucial to ensure your credibility is well-founded. One effective way to establish authority is through demonstrating your knowledge and expertise. This could involve showcasing your credentials, sharing relevant experience, or providing valuable insights that position you as a thought leader in your field. The key is to back up your claims with substance and avoid empty boasts. Another powerful technique is to leverage social proof as a form of borrowed authority. When we're uncertain about a decision, we often look to others, especially those we perceive as knowledgeable or influential, for guidance. Testimonials, endorsements from experts, and positive reviews from satisfied customers all serve as powerful forms of social proof that can enhance your credibility. Remember, the authority principle isn't about wielding power over others. It's about building trust and credibility through genuine expertise and ethical influence. When used responsibly, it can be a powerful tool for persuasion, guiding people toward positive outcomes. Let me share a classic example of the authority principle in action: the Milgram experiment. In this controversial study, participants were instructed to administer electric shocks to another person, who was actually an actor, whenever they answered a question incorrectly. The shocking finding was that a significant majority of participants continued to administer increasingly higher voltage shocks, even when the learner expressed distress, simply because an authority figure, the experimenter, instructed them to do so. While ethically questionable, the Milgram experiment highlights the profound influence of authority figures on our behavior. It underscores the importance of critically evaluating sources of authority and questioning directives that conflict with our moral compass. We humans have a deep-seated desire to appear consistent in our words and actions. This drive for consistency stems from our need to maintain a positive self-image and avoid cognitive dissonance, the mental stress we experience when our beliefs and actions are at odds. The consistency principle states that once we make a commitment, even a small one, we're more likely to agree to subsequent requests that align with that initial commitment. Our brains strive to maintain internal consistency, reinforcing our self-perception as reliable. Think about it. Have you ever made a small purchase only to find yourself more willing to invest in a more significant purchase from the same company later on? Or perhaps you agreed to help a friend with a small task, making you more likely to agree to a larger request later on. These are examples of the consistency principle at play. The beauty of this principle lies in its ability to create a snowball effect. By securing small initial commitments, you pave the way for larger commitments down the line. Each agreement reinforces the previous one, creating a sense of momentum that makes it harder for the other person to back out. So, how can you effectively leverage the consistency principle in an ethical manner? The key is to start small. Instead of bombarding someone with a large request up front, begin by seeking agreement on a smaller, less demanding commitment. For instance, if you're trying to persuade someone to volunteer for a significant amount of time, start by asking if they'd be willing to commit to a 1-hour information session. Once they've made that initial commitment, they're more likely to agree to a larger time commitment later on. Another effective technique is to make the commitment public. When people make a commitment in front of others, they're more likely to follow through to avoid the social pressure and potential embarrassment of going back on their word. Consider the effectiveness of online petitions or public pledges. When people publicly declare their support for a cause, they're more likely to donate their time or money later on. The public nature of their commitment creates a sense of accountability that strengthens their resolve. Remember, the consistency principle isn't about manipulating people into doing things they don't want to do. It's about guiding them toward actions that align with their values and previous commitments. Let's delve into a fascinating example of the consistency principle in action, the foot-in-the-door technique. This classic persuasion strategy involves making a small initial request that is likely to be accepted, followed by a larger related request. For instance, a salesperson might ask a potential customer if they have a minute to answer a few questions about their product preferences. Once the customer agrees, the salesperson has their foot in the door and is more likely to succeed in making a sale. We've covered a lot of ground today, exploring 4 powerful principles of persuasion, reciprocity, scarcity, authority, and consistency. Remember, these principles aren't about manipulation, but rather about understanding the human psyche and using that knowledge to communicate more effectively. By mastering these principles, you can become a more persuasive communicator, build stronger relationships, and achieve greater success in all areas of your life. The key is to apply these principles ethically, with genuine respect for the other person and a commitment to using your influence for good. Start influencing today and see the power of persuasion in action. Remember, the ability to influence others is a skill that can be learned and honed with practice. So go out there and make your voice heard.